Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Anybody noticing this? San Antonio Spurs versus the Knicks. The camera peel goes all the way down the line there, and they're looking at the San Antonio Spurs. And the San Antonio Spurs seem to have an attitude problem when it comes to America. They're all slouching. They all have their heads down. One of them, super duper tall guy, Victor Wembanyama, is that his name? Quite frankly, I could care less, to be honest, about sports. I learned my lesson a long time ago. These people are idiots. They will disappoint you. They're not even from San Antonio. They're from all over the world. I used to love the Yankees, and then something happened. I don't care. Jerry Seinfeld said it. You're rooting for the close at the end of the day, and this is one of those. This is like one of those episodes. To see these bums, all that money. You know what? It's called the NBA, right? The National Basketball Association. National. The nation happens to be America. And these guys seem to have a gigantic chip on their shoulder when it comes to America. You know, if we're going to have a country, you got to you have to have certain things in common, right? You have to think that the flag represents decency and goodness. For the past 10 years, has it been, right? Democrats running up and down, yelling, screaming about a phantom white supremacy that doesn't exist. White supremacy is not a thing, folks. There are 3 white supremacists in the entire country, and they're in the woods or they're in prison. All right, that's not MAGA. That's not anything. But boy, did they talk it up, because they were trying to drive us away from each other, and this is the result. Quite frankly, I could care less about Victor Wembanyama. All right, he's from France anyway. He's the one guy who's allowed to have a chip on his shoulder about America. If he wants to come over here, I mean, he is an excuse. He's from France. And let's face it, the French are difficult. You know what I mean? They can be very difficult. Difficult, running away, all that stuff. So now there's some French people I like, and there's some very, very brave French people. But let's face it, they love having attitude problems. Victor Wembanyama. When did he even get here? When is this guy? Let's see here. When he became his professional, I think he got here just a few months ago. He got here recently. He was playing in France. He's not even look, if he wants to, but the other players, I don't know where they're from, but I noticed they're all slouching and moping during our national anthem. And I find another little thing. Can we do me a favor? I want to watch this from the top, okay? We're going to watch it from the top as a group. Can we do that? Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, I saw 15 guys, 15 b-ball players for the Sperms. Let's call them the Sperms. Seems derogatory to me. Can't stand these jerks. 15 guys, 2 of them have their heads up looking at the flag. 2 of them have their hands on their hearts. Now I got to say something, but I want to double check my facts, because I'm going to say something that is not particularly nice, that's a little bit uncomfortable, but I have to verify it first. One more time, take it from the top, that little smidgen we have of the national anthem from the big game last night. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I missed one. All right, what am I trying to say here? There are 16 guys moping and heads down, and they don't look like they want to be there. There are 2 guys with their appropriately, what you do, and you put your hand on your heart. Now, I'm actually willing on this to cut a little bit of slack, because in the military, we didn't actually do that. You just stood at the position of attention, right? You don't necessarily, you stand at the position of attention if you're not in uniform, or if you're in uniform. You don't do the pledge. You don't put the hand on the heart. Anyway, all right, the 2 guys who seem to be paying a modicum of respect to the flag happen to be white, and they're the only white guys there. 2 out of 16. Now, why would that be, or could that be? First of all, NBA players, let's face it, they're the subject of a lot of political. Hey, they have the time for political, right? You only practice so much. I mean, 90% of this is God-given ability. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, he's 7 foot tall, 7 feet 4 inches tall. All right. He didn't do that. That was a gift. All right. They made him that way. So most of this, they don't even have to practice that hard, most of these guys. So they have time to screw around online and get radicalized against America. And, I'll cut them a little. I'm going to even cut them some more slack. The anti-white racism that seems to be everywhere, the anti-America bias that seems to be everywhere. President Trump is back, but that crap left a mark. It left a horrible mark. And to see the resentment, to see the leftover, to see the residue, I don't know, man. We may not have a country for much longer. I mean, ultimately I'm optimistic, but this kind of thing really, yikes. Everybody. The things that weren't controversial are now suddenly controversial. And weirdly, like I'm the odd man out. We're the odd people out. We're supposed to be more understanding of the grievance and the 400 years and the original sin of slavery and all that crap. Every country has its problems. America, it's kind of cornball. We talked about this before. America has problems. America is not the problem. Is that fair? You know who any of these players are, Carlos? Of the San Antonio Sperms? Phil, you know these guys? All right, so let's go. I want to know their identities as we start off the top, okay? I want to know who these guys are, and I'm going to send them nasty messages online full of ridicule, okay? 3, 2, 1, go.
That's Luke Cornett. That's Champagne. Devin Vassell. Bald guy. That's McLaughlin. Lindy Waters. Kelly Olynyk. Mason Plumlee. Stephen Castle. Carter Bryant.
I'm very impressed, by the way.
Guy, and then there's Victor Wembanyama at the end with De'Aaron Fox.
All right, now wait a second. So the first white guy, first white guy with his hand on his heart was Cornett?
Luke Cornett.
And what about the second white guy with his hand on his heart?
Mason Plumlee, American.
Okay. I mean, you kind of noticed this, right?
But the white guy next to him, by the way, Kelly Olynyk's Canadian.
I couldn't tell what he was, to be honest. He looked a little bit...
he looks like European, but he's Canadian.
He looked like he could be just about anything. I didn't even... all right, so... well, he's got his... all right, so I wouldn't count... Look, this is just not right, everybody. They badmouthed America. They lied about us. They badmouthed us. They emphasized the negative, ignored the positive. And you got these multimillionaires working for the National Basketball Association. Let's write a nasty email to that NBA commissioner, Adam Silver. Is that his name? I do not like him. Mr. Money. Adam Silver. What is he going to do about this? There was a time where this would spark like a genuine kind of, hey, what the hell? Colin Kaepernick. Remember that? That seems quaint. At least he bothered to put on a pose. These guys are chewing gum. Wembley. The only innocent person in this, to be honest, could be possibly Victor Wembanyama. What would I do if I were over there in France? I mean, I happen to give me a better example than France. What's another example of France? A country that, because I do like the French. Have you ever been there, man? Oh my gosh. Amazing people. The women, everything, the food, the elegance. All right. Russia, right? I might blow bubbles with my chewing gum if I were over there. Well, no, I would pay a little bit of respect. I wouldn't go out of my way to disrespect. That's what I would. I wouldn't go out of my way, and that's what they've done here. Commissioner of the NBA. You know, something tells me there's a player code of conduct in the NBA. Let's look up that player code of conduct, NBA. Let me see. Sure enough. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? There's a fan code of conduct. There's a fan code. The first thing is players and fans respect and appreciate each other. Guests will be treated in a professional and courteous manner by all arena and team personnel. Well, you just violated that code of conduct, didn't you? That was disrespectful to me, my country, and my family. Article 6, player conduct. Oh, that's collective bargaining. Oh, sure, yeah, they follow those rules. They're all about that. Everything is about the, okay, what is this? Player code of conduct, but this doesn't look as official as the other one. NBA, all right, let's just go to the fan code of conduct. One more time. It goes on and on and on. Players and fans respect and appreciate each other. Guests will be treated in professional and courteous manner by all area and team personnel. Guests will enjoy the basketball experience free from and without engaging in disruptive behavior, including foul or abusive language, betting-related or other harassment directed towards players in other games, and obscene gestures. Now, wait a second. What do you think we go to the basketball game to do? This is a violation of free speech. You're allowed to do these things. No, you are allowed to go and trash talk whoever you want and make fun, and that's. And you know what you're supposed to do is try to screw up the other team when they're making a free throw. Although I notice that's more in college than in pro. Will consume alcoholic beverages in a responsible manner. Okay, Guests will sit only in their. Well, this doesn't sound right. I'm very happy that I'm not involved in any of this Knicks sperms stuff. I do not care. I do not want to care. I've been disappointed by too many professional athletes. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, they cared nothing about you or your problems. How much does Wembanyama make? What's his name again? Victor Yabadabadoo?
He doesn't make that much. He's a rookie, so he's going to make.
What does he make?
Well, he makes a lot.
Yeah, what is that?
He makes like 10, 11 million.
10, 11 million. And he doesn't make a lot.
In relativity, like he's going to make so much more money.
You know
soon.
that Jalen Brunson guy?
He makes like almost 50 million.
I know, and they say that's one of he's underpaid. They got him at a bargain.
Oh yeah, they did get him.
They got him at a bargain. Only a $100 million contract.
It's pennies.
Screw these guys. Screw them and their families, to be honest. Their family should have straightened them out. You can't act like that in public. I have no time for this. Can we boycott the NBA? I guess it's too late. That's not going to work. No one's going to join me on that one.
I won't.
I didn't ask you.
Well, if you did, I'm just
I didn't ask you. I would not want you on my boycott. You go.
All right,
we want to yell and we need somebody to be angry at. No. Do what you want. I don't like boycotts, period. But this is... No, it is upsetting. I don't know if we're going to hold it together as a country. I don't know. You know, my friend Eric Metaxas just put out this beautiful book about the American Revolution and our history. He calls it Super Centennial, from 1776 to 2026. Here we are. Oh my gosh, less than a month away. In 1 month, it's the 250th anniversary of this country. And these slouches are chewing gum, scratching their faces, sniffing their crotch, right? Like dogs. It's disgusting, and it's a little bit heartbreaking. And maybe it's the cycle. Maybe it's designed this way. I don't know.